That's huge.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
2, 3, 4. Good morning, Unity Renaissance. All is well, life is good, and I am truly blessed.
All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, and I am truly blessed. I'll let my light shine so that everyone can see. I'll let love divine daily flow through me. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. I will be the change I want to see, and let harmony daily flow through me. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed.
I'm truly blessed.
I am truly blessed. I am truly. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed.
Hey! Oh, man. That deserved a lot more than that. Come on. That was great.
Woo-hoo! You guys are rocking it. Man, love that energy. Good morning, everyone. Gosh, so good to see all of you. You know, each week I see more people who've come back after having been away. And it's just such a joy to welcome you back in person. And those of you watching online, take that to heart. We'd love to have you come back here and be in the room with us, if at all possible. Well, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower, Jesus, in seeking to more fully love ourselves, love God, and love one another. It's all about love, my friends. From that beautiful consciousness of love here at Unity, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And each and every one of you, and you, and you, is an expression of God. That's a big realization, isn't it? To know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we deeply and truly know that, and we connect with that inner divinity in us, and then we behold it in one another, that beautiful light just grows and grows, and it shines out ever more brightly to light up the world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we are manifesting that vision through our mission. Together, we transform lives that transform the world. Let's begin our time of transformation this morning in prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, just filling your lungs with the energy of a new day beginning. Release and let go. We do come together this morning in such a spirit of gratitude and oneness. We are feeling our connections with one another, and we are feeling blessed. Those of you watching online, I know you are also feeling connected to us at the heart level as we are with you. We're so grateful for this amazing Unity Renaissance community, for the ways in which we lift each other up, accompany each other on our spiritual journey, share our insights, and grow together. What a blessing, what a gift. We are overflowing with gratitude today. We bless it all. And we say from deep within us, thank you, God. Thank you so much, God. And so it is. Amen.
All right, ready to swing wide the doors if y'all want to stand up. And let's do it. 2, 3, 4. You know this one. Here we go.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside, but now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
All right, now I invite you to do what you've just been instructed to do. Swing wide the doors of your heart as we join together in our divinity salute and turn to greet our neighbor with a bow. Together, the divine in me greets the divine in you. And we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
All right, one more time, let's hear it.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Nicely done.
Ooh, you feel the energy. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Beautiful fall day. I am Lisa Smith, and I am pleased to be your platform host for this morning. Our word from the Daily Word today is passion. You feel the passion. And please join with me in our affirmation together. My purpose fuels my passion. Purpose sets my heart aflame with passion. Each day, I awaken ready to answer the call of my heart, to give my best efforts and fullest attention to purposeful activity. Passion is the energy I bring to everything that I do. I discover the glory of God through passion as I do the things that make me feel the most alive, that fill me with energy and zeal and color the world with hope and promise. I recognize the divine presence behind it all. God is the source of all the passion I feel and the purpose that drives me. My passion is not for me alone. The life energy that radiates from me inspires those around me to live a life of purpose and passion, to boldly express their divinity as only they can. Our scripture verse is from 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11. Whoever speaks must do so as one speaking the very words of God. Whoever serves must do so with the strength that God supplies. If you would like prayer support today, we have a prayer chaplain available to pray with you after the service. You can visit our chapel right outside the narthex, and our prayer chaplain for today is Sam Ekampong. And so Sam will be happy to pray with you for needs as well as gratitudes. You may also fill out a prayer request form in the narthex or submit a prayer request on our website. And with that, would everybody please stand and join us in singing the Lord's Song.
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Supply our needs,
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
For all the kingdom, power and praise, with you began and with you stays. Amen. Amen. Please be seated. Just before you say something you can't take away, take a breath, then let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong, it doesn't matter just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now?
That's Boyd Black, ladies and gentlemen. Little Eddie Watkins for you.
Great song. 25 years ago, a Harvard-trained brain scientist named Jill Bolte Taylor had a massive stroke in the left half of her brain. Within 4 hours, she couldn't walk, talk, read, write, or recall any of her life. But during those 4 hours, when her intellectual left brain had completely shut down, her unfettered right brain introduced her to a whole new reality, an experience of complete and utter peace and oneness. Taylor later wrote in her best-selling book, My Stroke of Insight, "In this shifted perception, I no longer perceived myself as a single, a solid, an entity with boundaries that separated me from the entities around me. Instead, the energy of everything blended together. Everything in my visual world blended together. And with every pixel radiating energy, we all flowed en masse together as one." Wow. You know, we might say that Jill Bolte Taylor was in an altered state of being. But what if she was in the true state of being? What if the way she saw and experienced things is really the way that they are, unified rather than separate? What if our left brain serves the purpose of taking this oneness, this absolute reality, and breaking it into discrete, seemingly separate pieces for us so that we can navigate life, when in truth, we are all part of one big flowing stream of being? One big flowing stream of being. That's essentially what unity has taught since 1889. Oneness is foundational to our philosophy, hence the name unity. Unity teaches that we are all one with each other, that we are one with God, whatever you conceive that higher presence to be, that indeed we are one with all of life. There is no separation. And now, the very exciting news is that science, even beyond Jill Bolte Taylor, is saying the same thing. As we're learning in Christopher Naughton's fabulous class, I love this class, many great scientists now embrace the idea of a unifying, infinite, universal consciousness, a field of intelligent awareness of which we are all a part. They call it the one mind. We could also call it the absolute, God, goddess, infinite mind, the universe, the omega point, the ground of all being, or something else. But author and MD Larry Dossey says no matter what you call it, that within this consciousness there is a profound and, quote, intimate entanglement of everything with everything. Neurosurgeon and author Eben Alexander says, our separation from each other is an optical illusion of consciousness. Wow, an optical illusion of consciousness. This is a pretty huge departure from what we typically hear out of science, isn't it? The scientists typically want empirical evidence. If they can't experience it or see it, if it isn't tangibly so, that they don't believe that it is true in a physical way. But the one mind view is being driven by these cutting-edge discoveries from these pioneering scientists about paranormal phenomena, which are finally being taken seriously. Paranormal phenomena, you might wonder what that is. It includes things like near-death experiences in which people have lucid memories and experiences even when their brains have physically completely shut down, when they're showing up essentially as brain dead. It's phenomena like knowing the future before it happens, accurately seeing and sensing things from across a distance, the mind being able to affect physical matter, children remembering previous lives. Oh, there's some compelling stories about that. Savants having access to an astounding amount of information they have never learned or studied, and communication with the dead that it turns out to be both accurate and instructive. This is a vast wealth of phenomena, thousands and thousands and thousands of cases that scientists are finally taking seriously. And we are hearing in this One Mind class, we are hearing and reading some absolutely phenomenal accounts of people who have experienced this kind of phenomenon, accounts that seem that they border on the miraculous, honestly. So two that have stood out for me. One is Bobby the collie. This was in the 1920s. Bobby was a 2-year-old dog. His owners lived in Oregon. And they went on vacation with Bobby, and they went to Indiana. While they were in Indiana, Bobby got lost. They couldn't find him anywhere. And finally, the owners just gave up. They got in the car. They drove back to Oregon, desolate. 6 months later, Bobby showed up in his owner's home, emaciated, but having traveled 2,800 miles to get home from Indiana to Oregon. He came up the stairs, jumped on his master's bed, and began licking his face. Come on. And then the other's the story of Leslie Lemke. Leslie was a male he's probably in his 60s now, he's still alive, but he was born with cerebral palsy and severe glaucoma, such that when he was first born, the doctors removed his eyes. Totally blind. Leslie was unable to stand until he was 12 years old, and he couldn't walk until he was 15. But one night, when he was 16 years old, his adoptive parents, his adoptive mother is absolutely an amazing soul herself, they woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of music just pouring out of the piano in their living room. So they went in to see what it was, and there was Leslie sitting at the piano, playing Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto No. 1 perfectly. He had heard it performed on television recently. He'd never had a piano lesson, never had a music lesson, but there he was. And from that point on, he became adept at playing all different musical styles. He actually sang before he ever spoke. He became internationally known for being able to play thousands of musical pieces, having only heard them once. Now, that's mind-blowing, is it not? We ask ourselves, how could this possibly happen? Well, the One Mind scientists would tell us that these individuals were tuned into a higher field of intelligence. They were basically, their brains were downloading, just like antenna, they were downloading this information from a greater source out there in the great beyond. So many of these stories, and while the details of them are very different, they span a wide cross-section of phenomena. The scientists say that they have 3 things in common. And the first is that those who experience these phenomena have a hyper-real level of awareness. They say that what they've been through, what they experienced, was more real than real. Secondly, they feel a connection to a greater whole. And third, it is an experience of intense love. Intense love. Connection to a greater whole, more real than real, intense love. That sounds like the reality we're meant to live in. It sounds like the realization that we're meant to have, the awakening that we are seeking. It's the consciousness that I believe Jesus taught and exemplified and beckoned us into, this consciousness of oneness, of love, of the whole of which we are all a part. Jesus exemplified this consciousness, and we need it now more than ever. Larry Dossey, in his book, One Mind, writes, "The limitations of our minds constitute a kind of planetary emergency. The problems we face are systemic and metastatic. They involve the gradual degradation and deterioration of our world because of the way we choose to behave, abetted by an unremitting greed, a paralysis of will, the clouding of vision, and a willful ignorance toward rigorous science. As a people, we seem to be seriously impaired. It is as if we have suffered a culture-wide stroke that has damaged the higher centers that control our ability to reason and act in rational ways. Wow. But we have a choice. The solution, quite simply, is to change our minds, to raise our consciousness. How do we do that? We do it by deeply knowing and embracing that we are intimately connected with one another and with all of life. You see, this is the lesson we have yet to learn, that we are one, that there is no separation. We are part of this one mind, this one consciousness, this one energy field that is all of life. We cannot do harm to another without harming ourselves. We cannot give without receiving. We cannot turn a deaf ear or a blind eye to suffering without suffering ourselves. As poet, author, and activist Maya Angelou said, we are not our brother's keeper. We are our brother, and we are our sister. Well, this puts a very different spin on the golden rule, doesn't it? Rather than it being, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, it says, do unto, or be kind to others, because in some sense, they are you. I wanted to talk about this topic today because I feel that this move, this rise in consciousness, this return to a consciousness of oneness is imperative and urgent. So many people are hurting right now because of the deep divisions in our country and in our world about politics, about ideology, but also race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, you name it. People are hurting. And I have people come to me from time to time and say, how can I talk to my friend or my family member who sees things so differently from me? And my answer is to remember what Albert Einstein said. No problem can be solved from the level of consciousness that created it. Continuing to go head to head, trading opinions or arguments gets you nowhere. The answer is not a more clever approach or clever argument or psychological tool to make your point. The answer is to come up higher in consciousness. The answer is to remove yourself and see that person as a fellow human being that you can regard with love and care, and even perhaps ask yourself, what would love do now? You see, when we move into that consciousness of oneness, we don't have to force ourselves to be nice or to be loving because we are love. We feel it, and so does the other person. And very soon, these outer differences become less important and perhaps even irrelevant. If we are committed to raising our consciousness in this way, we must become adept at saying no to the mindset that we don't want and yes to the mindset that we do want. That could even mean making the very bold choice to turn away from news sources and social media that perpetually stir up fear and division and outrage. I have done this myself. It's so simple, you guys. You can really do this. Turn it off. Look away. Put your attention elsewhere. I have done this, and it is so liberating. So liberating. When I witness this kind of activity and arguing and infighting going on, I say to myself, I'm not playing in that sandbox anymore. I will not live in fear, and I will not demonize other people. I will not engage with life at this level. I'm going up here. I'm going up here. And you can do the same thing. We all have that capacity to shift our focus. Man, you're in charge of this. Remember Emerson saying, stand guard at the portal of your mind. Watch what you're taking in. And mindfully choose that which is uplifting and inspiring and uniting and enlightening. You know how to do this. We talk about it all the time. Meditation, sitting quietly, listening to music, viewing art, being in nature, spending time with loved ones. You can read inspirational material, you can pray, spend time just on your own. You can do this when you're washing the dishes or gardening or doing nothing at all. It's just tuning in to the infinite. It's tuning in to the truth. You know, we human beings know how to be in oneness consciousness. We know this because we show it from time to time. Typically, we see this oneness of people being united in the aftermath of a tragedy, for example, after 9/11. Remember how close we felt to everyone? Or after an experience of awe and wonder. Like I particularly remember a couple of years ago when we had the complete solar eclipse. Oh, that was so powerful. You see, we know how to do this. We know we are familiar with this consciousness, but we forget it. And we don't make the conscious choice to be in that sense of awareness. In 1992, a Category 4 storm called Hurricane Aniki hit the island of Kauai in Hawaii. And it caused about $3 billion worth of damage. It killed several people, and it knocked power out for weeks. Well, as it happens, my mother and stepfather were on Kauai in the middle of that hurricane when it hit. My mother later told me that she and her husband huddled in the bathtub of their timeshare, presumably the safest spot in the unit, for 8 hours. Most of the time covering their ears to muffle the deafening roar of the hurricane. My mother told me she was sure she was going to die. But the storm passed, and when my mom and stepfather and all the residents came out, they were in life felt entirely different. Sure, there was obviously massive destruction to be dealt with, but at the same time, my mother said that she witnessed the most open-hearted sharing and compassion and community she had ever seen. She said it was one of the highlights of her life. Can you imagine going from fearing you're going to die to one of the highlights of your life because of the consciousness that people were in, because of the amazing sharing that she witnessed of food and water and resources, complete selflessness as people cared for each other and did everything they possibly could to help one another. And even made up music and sang to celebrate that they'd made it. It was a celebration of life. And differences between people, why would that even matter? It was human being to human being. Now, when I want to get myself in that consciousness of human to human, seeing us as fellow travelers, and even loving people I don't know at all, but seeing them, as I would say, through the eyes of God, I look to two of my favorite spiritual teachers, my granddaughters. We have a picture of them. There's Vivian, who's now age 4. She's a pistol. She's hilarious and so much fun. And that's little Maya, who is 17 months old today. My granddaughters are absolutely full of life and oblivious to any differences between people. They are filled with joy and wonder and discovery. Well, about a month ago, I was up in New York City visiting Emily and Rich and little Maya, and I decided to take her out for a stroll through the park one day. So I had her in the stroller, and Maya just loves people and pets. If you take her for a walk, She pointedly engages with every single person and every single dog. She does it often through making eye contact and smiling and sometimes reaching out. As we're walking along through the park, we came upon an old man sitting on a park bench, looking down at his lap and appearing to be utterly despondent. And I thought to myself, here is someone who is so turned inward that nothing can reach him. But he glanced up as we approached, and little Maya shot him a big, beaming smile. And that man's face, his countenance changed completely. A huge smile came across his face, as if he had just seen the sun for the first time. You see, we can all do this for each other. We can all be like the sun to each other on a cloudy day. Maybe it's as simple as making eye contact and smiling. Or maybe it's as substantial as rising up into a consciousness of oneness. We can learn this lesson. We can do this. We can love one another regardless of our differences. For the future of our planet, for the survival of humankind, may it be so. Let's turn now to our meditation. Thanks. Let's take a moment now to get settled in our seats, breathing in deeply. Release and let go. Just feel any worries or concerns or busy thoughts just falling away. Just gently breathing in and out. Grounding yourself in the all-loving, all-knowing, all-encompassing presence of God. Appreciate for a moment that right now, all across this beautiful planet Earth, are people intrinsically like you, moving through their day, facing their challenges, but also looking up at the sun or the moon or the sky. Feel yourself in this moment connected with all of them, the family of humankind. Each person striving, trying to figure it out, trying to make their way. And you as well. In this moment, send yourself a little love and a little grace. And imagine beaming that love and grace out to all of life. Allow yourself to turn to the presence of the one mind, the one consciousness that unites us all, for a few moments in the silence. hope and new love in our hearts, to make a difference in this world, to be the change, and to show up in love. And for all of this, for sharing our journey, for gaining these insights, for growing together, we're so grateful. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Now is the time in our service for the sharing of our love offering in support of this beautiful spiritual community and all the wondrous things that we are up to here. I invite you to give generously from that place of gratitude within you, to give our continuing growth and expansion here. And also, as you are, so there are many different ways to give. You can go on our website. It shows you all of the options available to you, those here present. If you'd like to leave a check or cash in the love offering basket in the back, you're welcome to do that. The easiest way to give is by using your smartphone and texting the word give, and thereafter the amount you wish to contribute to.
540-418-1228. Text now.
And while you are preparing your gift, we're going to show a little video here to remind us that we are currently having an initiative that we're calling Let's Finish Strong, encouraging those who made pledges to our Turning Point campaign to fulfill on those pledges as that campaign comes to a close at the end of this year. And so here's some words from our beloved Ann DeMichael and Donna Shannon, both board members.
Hi, I'm Donna Shannon.
And I'm Ann DeMichael. We are on the Board of Trustees for Unity Renaissance, and we are both prayer chaplains.
We wanted to share with you how excited we are with the completion of the expansion of our building.
Well, the new fellowship hall, the kitchen, the classrooms, everything has been enhanced, and everything is being used in beautiful and meaningful ways.
For example, we were able to host a dinner following the celebration of life for one of our beloved prayer chaplains. Friends and family came together in the fellowship hall to support one another and to share joyous memories. It was a memorable time in an extraordinary space.
Yes, it was. I remember it well. We have so much to be proud of, and the future promises countless occasions and opportunities for all of us to use this wonderful space, and our spiritual family can come together in wonderful ways.
We hope you will agree that our expansion is beautiful. 3 years ago, we came together as a community because we wanted to do this for ourselves, for our children, and the future. Let's finish strong.
You know, Let's Finish Strong is not about asking people to do something new, but rather to complete what we started. This is what we pledged. Let's reach that.
This is our dream, and together we can make that dream a reality. Let's come together. Let's finish strong.
Many blessings.
There's Donna sitting right there. Well done, Donna, and Ann's up in Charlottesville today. Thank you so much. With that, I invite you to hold your gift in your hand. Let's bless it with our offertory blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you.
of a much bigger plan. And the longer I'm here, the more I understand. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun. When it's all said and done, I am one, we are one. I'm just one drop of rain that runs to the stream and the ocean by and by. And I could do worse to give myself up on the crest of the wave in this ocean of love. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun. When it's all said and done, I am one, we are one. One gentle touch, one loving word, one single step toward a kinder I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun. When it's all said and done, I am one, we are one. One gentle touch, one loving word, one single step toward a kinder world. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun. When it's all said and done, I am one, we are one. I am one, we are one.
Nicely done. Lily Scott.
Awesome, Lily. Welcome back. Lily's been working on the sound team, so I haven't seen her in a little while. Great to have you back up here. We'd like to take a moment now to welcome anyone who is new to Unity Renaissance. If you are here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up the appropriate number of fingers for your first, second, or third visit. We got the first timer here, second timers over here. We have a gift for you. And thank you so much for joining us today. It's a joy to have you with us, and we look forward to seeing you again and again.
What time of year is it? Halloween. I love Halloween. We have some treats coming up for you for Halloween. First of all, this Friday night, we have a Halloween costume dance. Yay, here at 7 p.m. There's going to be music, and there's going to be food, and there's going to be costumes and prizes for various categories of best costumes. So please come out and join us for that. And then we have our intergenerational Sunday service next Sunday. That's going to be special. And afterwards, we're going to have our safe and spooky classroom crawl. And we are still looking for people who want to decorate a classroom or just a table, or we'll decorate the table for you and just bring treats and show up and sit at the table and greet all the kids. So wonderful ways to enjoy Halloween.
I think there are folks out in the narthex, if they want to sponsor a table, or is there a sign-up sheet or something
Yeah,
like that?
sign-up
they
sheet,
can
and
do
I
that.
think Bea and Lisa are heading that as well, so you can look
Okay.
for them. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hey, I'm super excited. Our next film coming up is In the Heights. I spoke a little bit about it last week. I love this film. It will be at 7 o'clock on Friday, November 5th. It's based on the Broadway hit musical from Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's so uplifting. The dancing is incredible. The message is profound. And here's a sneak preview. Sorry.
What does sueñito mean?
Sueñito. It means little dream.
That's it? No story?
All right, everybody sit down. It's a story of a block that was disappearing. In un barrio called Washington Heights. The streets were made of music.
I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated.
Morning, Usnavi.
Pan caliente, café con leche.
On these blocks, you can't walk 2 steps without bumping into someone's big plan.
I'm making moves, I'm making deals, but guess what?
What?
You still ain't got no skills.
I've been saving up all my pennies in my piggy bank for this day.
This is going to be an emotional roller coaster. The odds are against you.
But there's a chance, right? A dream isn't some sparkly diamond. There's no shortcuts. Sometimes it's rough.
Yeah, I'm a street light choking on the heat. The world spins around while I'm frozen to my seat. The people that I know.
They're talking about kicking out all the dreamers.
But every day is different, so
It's time to make some noise. We had to assert our dignity in small ways. Shh. Just listen. Little details that tell the world we are not invisible.
Ignore anyone who doubts you.
We came to work and to live, and we got a lot in common. DRPR, we are not stopping. Every day, until the day we go from poverty to stock options. Today's all we got, so we cannot stop. This is our block. In the Heights.
You don't want to miss that one.
Ooh, that looks great. We are continuing our supply drive for women re-entering society from the Norfolk jail. And so we are looking for regular-sized toiletries of conditioner, deodorant, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrushes, washcloths, etc. So if you can bring those in up till next Sunday, there's a couple of boxes out to the left of the cafe area, and just drop them in there.
We have another Ask the Minister Sunday coming up, or as Christopher Naughton likes to call it, Stump the Minister Sunday. I don't know about that, but I invite you to submit any questions you have on matters spiritual or religious, related to God, Jesus, the Bible, spirituality, whatever is on your mind, kind of in the grander scheme of things, or even if you just want to know more about what's happening at Unity Renaissance. You can submit those questions via email to my email address, revpaula@unityren.org, or if you prefer to send them in anonymously, you can do so on our website.
And Paula mentioned earlier about Christopher Naughton's series that's been going on. This is week 3. We'll be continuing with that One Mind series, and this week is by Mark Gober, and he's going to be talking about hyperreality and near-death experiences. And you can find out more information about signing up for that on our website. You can sign up for each individual class for $25, and then I believe everything's on demand, so you can also still get the series for $99.
I'm a huge fan of Mark Gober, by the way. If you like podcasts, listen to his podcast called Where Is My Mind? I've listened to every single episode. It's life-changing. It's amazing. And he's going to be one of the ones interviewed this Wednesday. Hey, it's time to be looking for new board candidates. If you're interested in serving on our board of trustees, we will have 2 openings in the coming year. Applications are available in the narthex and on our website. There are a few requirements. You must have a minimum of 2 consecutive years of active membership at Unity Renaissance to include leadership positions, attendance in classes, and or other volunteer service immediately before submitting your board application. You must attend at least 1 board meeting and 1 finance committee meeting before January 1st and have demonstrated leadership at Unity Renaissance. So be thinking about it. We're always looking for new and up-and-coming leaders. We'd love to have you be a part of not only the Board of Trustees, but the exciting things happening for Unity Renaissance. Applications are due by December the 31st. Well, that's it for our announcements. Let's stand up now and greet our children.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, walking. We are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking. We are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God.
Hello, hello. Well, hello, beautiful ones. Welcome. So good to see you all. Who would like to share what you learned today in class? Yes.
We learned to think of things good when you're scared.
We learned to think of good things when you're scared. That is great lifelong advice right there. Who else? Anybody? Do you want to come up, Isaiah? Oh, it's so good to see you again. You got so tall.
We learned how everybody can be different in different shapes and sizes.
That's okay. Everybody's different, and that is okay. Welcome back, sweetheart.
We absorb our environment. I relate what is not for my best, and I choose a positive, uplifting environment.
I release what is not for my best, and I choose a positive, uplifting environment. That's exactly what we talked about today. All right. Did you have something to? Oh, you're waving to Mom. Okay. All right, let's stand together now and join in our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. Together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance.